Welcome to the I Can't Believe I Didn't Mess That Up show. I'm Grace and this is Maggie and Leah. We have a great show for you today, including 3 special guests that were involved in the Battle of Lexington and Concord.
As I'm sure all of you know, Wednesday was a very pivotal day for the people of Lexington and the British Army. On that cold April morning, 8 militiamen were brutally murdered by the mighty British.
It all started the night before when a brave man named Paul Revere rode his horse all the way to Lexington to warn the committee about the British Army. He claims the British were coming to Concord to take the stored artillery.
The Lexington militia decided to get together very early in the morning. Young, inexperienced men starting at the age of 15 all lined up to sign the muster book and to be part of the militia that would attempt to convince the British to stay away from Concord, using only their words, not violence.
Now here's our first guest, Paul Revere.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Mr. Revere, how are you?
Well, about as good as I could be, considering the events that happened last week.
Could you please describe what went through your mind when you saw the British crossing the river into Lexington?
Well, there was quite a lot. At first, I was trying to figure out what to make of the situation. I knew there had been multiple rumors about the British Army wanting to take their supplies back from Concord. I had thought nothing of them, though, until the moment I saw the British crossing the river. I knew that the most important thing to do was to warn the people of the nearby towns, so that is what I did.
Do you ever wonder what would have happened if you hadn't said anything to the militia? Do you think it would have prevented people from being killed on the green that night?
No, absolutely not. I feel that no matter what course of action I took, the shot that was heard around the world would have still been fired.
Thank you for coming to talk with us today, Paul. It was a pleasure having you here.
It was a pleasure to be here.
Oh, go! Leah!
What, Maggie?
Are you cold?
I'm freezing!
Let's have some of this delicious Boston tea. It'll keep you warm during these cold winter months.
Our next guest is a young man that actually fought in the Battle of Lexington and Concord. Introducing Adam Cooper.
Hello, everyone.
Hi!
Hi, Adam. How have you been?
I've been getting through. I've been trying to take care of my mother, grandmother, and little brother Levi. They are very upset, and I've been trying to stay strong for them.
I'm so sorry for your loss, Adam, but could you please tell us what has been the hardest part for you since the battle?
I think the hardest part is dealing with my father's death. Every time I close my eyes, I see the bullet hitting him, and then helplessly watching his body fall toward the ground. I haven't slept since then.
We are all so sorry, Adam. We know how hard this must be for you, and if there's anything we can do to help, please let us know.
I will. Thank you. Is there anything else you need to know?
Well, as you know, there's been some controversy on who shot first. Do you have a comment on this?
Of course, I believe that it is an abolishment for anyone to think that us poor colonists had fired the first shot against the British Army. It is clear that they fired upon us, and we ran away in terror.
Thank you for your input, Adam, and thank you again for coming to join us.
Thank you. Have a swell day.
You too.
It was you who fired first. No, it's British. It was you.
Hello, everyone.
In the arms of the angels.
We, the cast and crew of the I Can't Believe I Didn't Mess That Up show, would like to send our thoughts and prayers to the victims of the Battle of Lexington and Concord. Thank you.
Welcome back to the I Can't Believe I Didn't Mess That Up show.
And now, here's an officer who may have somewhat of a different point of view than our previous 2 guests, General Thomas Gage of the British Royal Marines.
Hello, everybody. I have come to inform you of the truth behind the Battle of Lexington. There have been multiple stories regarding who fired the first famous shot of the battle. Most believe that it was us, because we are a much larger, more efficient, and skilled army. Yet this is entirely untrue. The militia of Lexington were scared and untrained cowards that fired quickly upon our side without any provocation from us. In effect, our highly trained Marines fired back in self-defense.
Do you ever regret firing back at the militia because of how vulnerable they were?
No. I sincerely believe that it was our duty to fire upon the colonists. They were violating the king's rules as they fired upon his royal army. This is a clear act of war and allows us to fire back. Also, they committed a terrible act of treason, which was the reason for all the uproar. They stole the ammunition and guns used by the king's royal army, which is acting out directly against the king, parliament, and laws, enabling us to act with brutal regard towards the colonists, and we did so with unneeded sincerity. If further details are necessary to convince you that the brutal Gillies deserved what came to them, after they began the dreadful fire upon us, they then continued the fight with more mindless murdering, picking off almost every one of us while we simply walked down the road to retrieve the stolen possessions and return them to our king.
Thank you all very much for telling us the much unbiased truth of the battle. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. If you would like, visit our website for some great new tattle talk about our latest celebs. Thanks for tuning in to the
I can't believe I didn't mess that up show. Good night.